Hey, I spoke to so many guys with the Yankees, and they could not stop raving about what you did in that clubhouse, from Susan Waldman to everybody from top to bottom. I just thought that what you do in clubhouses today is more, it's like, for me, character and personality is the newspaper metrics. What did you learn from going over there and doing what you did last year for that team?
It was big. You start with CeCe Sabathia, Brett Gardner, just to name a couple big-time guys that have been playing for the Yankees for a while. I kind of leaned on them a little bit, to be honest. The clubhouse was always something that I thought was a huge part in baseball. I mean, everybody talks about playing, you got to, the statistics, all that kind of stuff. But for me, at the end of the day, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, your track record speaks for itself. So your numbers will be there, whether it's a little bit less or a little bit higher. And, that kind of Yankee way. I was just one of those guys that stepped in, just trying to be myself. And for me, the clubhouse stuff was huge. And just like in any team I'm with, I try and bring that morale and everybody together, knowing, hey, everything will take care of itself on the field. Let's keep that confidence going. And that's basically what I try and do.
Yeah, I thought when the Mets picked you up, I thought it was just a great move for them because, it's a long-term move because what you do in the clubhouse is really is priceless. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about consecutive years and playing in the Subway Series.
Yes.
What does it mean to you? What does it mean to the city? How exciting is it?
Well, being close to home. I mean, for me, I got friends, who go both ways with Mets and Yankees. So when I play with the Yankees, I told the guys, if you're coming, you got to either wear Yankee gear. If you wear Mets gear, you're going to be in trouble, and then vice versa this time. So it made for fun laughs. I know we lost a couple games, but at the same time, it brings, I had 20 people here. I got a box seats upstairs, and it was just great, man. Everything about this whole situation, about, my career, and I've had a great opportunity playing for both teams now, and how many people can say that they play with both teams in both Subway Series? There's only a few, so it's pretty cool, pretty cool.
Hey, you and I have one thing in common. Every year before spring training, I would write my goals and send it to my brother Joe.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere that you do the same thing with Charlie and Jeff.
Without a doubt.
Where did that start? Where's that ritual about?
It started about 5 years ago. Both of them played minor league ball. My brother Jeff made it for 2 weeks with the Detroit Tigers in major leagues, but I always wanted to keep them included. I always feel like, they made me the person who I am today. I always played with their friends, with the guys that were better than me, and eventually I was always picked last, and then I became the first pick overall, when we're playing just backyard games. And, when it came to the home run derby, I had my brother Charlie pitch me, and my brother Jeff was hyping me up on the side. So, I'm playing this game not only for myself and for my family. So it's one of those things where family's a big thing with me, and my brothers asked me, where is it in spring training? I said, don't worry, you'll get it right before the game starts. So it's just that kind of feel what makes it special for me.
Now, you're a veteran player now. I mean, you've been around a long time. Any clubhouse you walk into, just by nature, you're going to be the leader or one of the leaders. When you think about when you were a young player, you watching or people that made a big impact in your career, who do you channel to this day that helps you out?
Scott Rowland would definitely be one. He was, kind of a quiet assassin, to say. He would... he wouldn't be the loud guy, because I'm loud, emotional. I bring a lot of that stuff. He was a guy that, would take you to the side and be like, hey, don't do this again, Bob. And next thing you know, it's like that lion in the wild. It's like, all right, I can't be doing that again. One of those things. Arthur Rhodes was actually a guy, who was very stern. Yeah. One of those guys where, that mentality, he didn't take any crap. So those kind of things is where I look into. I try and bring that old school mentality back a little bit, but, in a different way, because the game's changed. So, you can't really get on them too much, but there's a way of going about it, of, being a leader at the same time.
I want to talk to you a little bit about defense, because I've always admired the way you've gone about your defensive game. For you, and I had my challenges, and when you think about playing defense, has fielding the ball been a little bit more challenging over your career, or throwing it? Which one's come more natural?
At first, when I went to third, it was throwing it. I went a month where I thought I had the yips. It was the craziest thing in the world. I'm coming from shortstop, and then, I played a little bit of first base and a little bit of outfield. So the arm angles are totally different. I was trying to figure out, should I get lower my base should be lower? Should I be a little, taller? And for me, my feel is, if the lower I get, the worst I actually felt, to be honest with you. Because my first step, I get real low, my first step will be here. Instead of, staying low to the ground like this. So for me, it's just, a little wider base, but kind of up front so I can just boom one way or the other. So for me, I feel comfortable over there in the last, 5 years. It's, been that position for me, and I feel excited about it.
So, Frazier, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Look at the camera here and show what you were doing when you had that kind of month where you went through a rough time throwing, and show me the right way of doing it now, because you have a very accurate arm.
Without a doubt. These planes are helping us out here right now. But for me, I think the main thing, it was kind of like a feel. I was throwing the ball. It was more shoulder kind of throw, kind of like getting it, just trying to feel it and get it over, instead of that kind of loosey-goosey kind of feel. So for me, I would get it, you know, the more time I had, the more thoughts go through your head. So I was like, all right. And next thing you know, I was kind of umping towards it a little bit. I mean, for lack of better words. And then instead of just feeling and just, you know, kind of like Tony Fernandez used to do back in the day. You're not like that, but, you know, just a little flickeration and just the way I went with it.
Flickeration, I love that.
If that's a word.
Take the fans at home real quick on, you know, you have a slow runner at first, you have a slow runner at the plate, so slow, double play ball.
Yes.
Are you telling yourself, okay, take an extra step? Walk the fans through kind of what you're thinking about.
Without a doubt. You know, if it's double play ball, if I know, say, if Billy Hamilton or Brett Gardner's up at the plate, I'm actually going to move up a little bit, you know, say, you know, closer to, you know, where the lip is of the grass, so I can get that ball and give that guy a good feed. Slower runner, I might take 2 or 3 steps back, knowing I have time. But the only thing in my mind is just give this guy at second base a good throw. That's it. You know, if I field it, at the end of the day, give that guy a good throw at second base, you know, in the vicinity here where he can control it. You know, maybe take another step to throw the guy out, and at the end of the day, we get him out. But, you know, my feel is the slower the guy is, the more space I'm going to get, so I can not only get the guy at second, he can make a good play and good throw at first base as well.
Got it.